Hi Aquarius, welcome or welcome back. It's good to see you. This is your timeless collective reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. Also be sure to check out the description box where I will leave some journal prompts for you based on this reading. Okay, we're going to go into all of your tarot cards first, and then at the end I'm going to draw one oracle card as a closing message. So I've already got your first few tarot cards pulled to represent your general energy, so let's dive right in. Your internal experience, your current internal experience, is represented by the Three of Swords. Your current external experience is represented by the Queen of Wands. And the big picture sort of archetypal theme or experience that you are moving through right now is the Sun. So Queen of Wands and the Sun kind of go hand in hand. Look at that. It's like they're almost even part of the same picture. This is beautiful. So on the surface, I think you're very busy. You're very active. This is a masculine expression of divine feminine. So you're very active. I'm hearing you're very strong. You are focused. You are determined. You are getting stuff done. I'm hearing let's get down to business. Right? Let's get down to business. You're busy. You're doing things. You're probably interacting with a lot of people, maybe new people. Let's say the requirements or the tasks at work have maybe up-leveled or changed. Maybe you even have a whole new job. This just feels very work-oriented or people-focused. Your solar plexus has opened. I'm seeing it literally spiraling open. Your solar plexus has been healed to a large extent, I'm hearing. This is self-expression, authority, knowing who you are, knowing what you want, and taking all the action required to go for it, right? Now the Sun being this kind of the archetypal theme that you're moving through, what I feel is that you've had a breakthrough. You have recently had some kind of major breakthrough. The Sun comes right after the Moon. The Moon is like, in its shadow expression, it's confusion and illusion, lack of clarity, murky waters, deep primal fears, even paranoia. It's just, it can be very, very heavy, and it is really described best by a lack of clarity. Then comes the Sun. Boom. Clarity. Not just clarity, but action taken on the clarity. Freedom, joy, movement, forward movement, right? So, on one level, you're doing amazing. But then there's this Three of Swords, which is again your internal experience. This is heartache. This is emotional pain caused by either memories or thoughts in your own head, or words, communication coming at you from someone else. The Swords suit represents thought, belief, word communication, right? Now, it would be easy to say at first glance, well, maybe you're kind of like putting on a front, right? If this is how you are presenting yourself on the outside, but this is how you feel on the inside, maybe you're kind of faking it, or you're putting on some kind of front. You're numbing out to the deeper truth of how you really feel, which is not so great. But I don't feel that at all. I don't feel that at all. It's not a front. I don't feel like you are ignoring your own feelings or numbing out to them or like overworking to escape them. I don't feel that. And with the sun as the primary experience you're moving through in like the, a big archetypal way, this just reinforces that this Queen of Wands embodiment that you're experiencing is so very authentic. You have experienced a breakthrough. You do know what you want more than you have in a really long time. It's all authentic. And so I almost feel like whatever emotional pain is kind of like being highlighted or flaring up within you, it is a reaction to this higher level of personal power and authenticity and self-expression that you've stepped into. It's almost like a purge that's trying to happen, because this joy and freedom and empowerment that you're experiencing is so real. This lingering kind of heartache has to be purged in a sense. And so it's being highlighted within you. Now, I want to get some clarification on this Three of Swords. It's obviously going to be different for each and every one of you, but I'm just curious to see what the cards have to say. What is this heartache about? To me, it feels just intuitively more like memories, like an old wound. Old wounds are flaring up, rather than like somebody has said something hurtful to you. But if that is the case, then that's your case, right? It's going to be different for everyone. Clarify. Thanks. It was so fast. Clarify the Three of Swords. Temperance jumped right out. A little bit more. Clarify this Three of Swords, please. This, through the Temperance card, I almost feel like, first of all, you are divinely protected. It feels like this is something that needs to remain a very internal experience. And it's also something that you, whether you recognize it or not, it feels like an old wound that you are working on energetically, or like in the astral realm, or in 5D, or in your dreams. There's something very spiritual about the way that you are approaching this. I mean, considering what's happening on the surface, you probably don't have a lot of time to do too much inner work here. Clarify the Three of Swords. Whoop, there it is. What do we got? The High Priestess and the Tower. Yeah. Whoa. You know what it is. I mean, you know what it is for yourself. I feel like the High Priestess, and also, this is an old wound within you that has surfaced multiple times. I'm hearing it surfaces in cycles. So it cycles between rising to your conscious awareness and then going back into the unconscious, rising to the conscious, back into the unconscious. So it's this cycle. It's this loop. It's old pain. This ain't new. So the fact that it's coming up now within you is an opportunity yet again to really process it on a deeper level. And the Tower, this feels like fear, actually. Fear of losing something or someone. Lack of control, feeling out of control. I don't want this to end, but it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is something that you will have to become aware of for yourself on your own, of course. Um, but I would just offer you this validation. Spirit is offering you this validation that you can be authentically moving through one of the most empowered experiences of your life and stepping into high degrees of authenticity and self-expression while simultaneously internally moving through incredible emotional detox. They actually go hand in hand. And the way to process whatever this Three of Swords is for you, rather than relegating it to the shadow again, putting it off yet again, is to just give unconditional presence to it. Unconditional presence. To not be afraid that there's something wrong because you're feeling some kind of negative emotion or pain. There's nothing wrong. It's trying to purge, right? So take the time, make the time to journal. I always suggest journaling. Journal out any negative emotions that are coming up within you, even if they make no logical sense, right? The truth doesn't have to make sense. So what's the primary challenge that Aquarius is facing right now? It's almost this old fear that it's the feeling of having like the rug pulled out from underneath of you. It's an old story that says no matter how good I think I have it, or no matter how peaceful things may be now, chaos is coming. Destruction is coming. Endings are coming. The rug will be pulled out from under me. So it makes perfect sense that this is coming up now, because look at how how much joy and empowerment is coming into your life. So it's almost like you don't trust it because it was taken from you in the past. This could go all the way back to childhood, when you were an infant even, right? Okay. I don't know what order these came out in, but this is your challenge. We've got the 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords. Yep. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. Look at, he's looking back over at those 10 swords. There's a decision here that you need to make. It needs to be a conscious choice to let go of this thought pattern. It has to be a conscious choice. It feels like it's not just going to happen on its own. It's not just going to happen by default. You have to choose to let the old identity die, the old identity that is associated with this pain. Like nothing good lasts forever. So it's almost like being happy feels unsafe, you know? It's like you don't trust happiness to last for very long. Chaos is inevitable. Loss is inevitable. And maybe you're right. But maybe you're not. This is something that is worthy of deep discussion. But it has to all be conscious. This entire process needs to be conscious and a conscious choice. And on the other side of that choice, to shift your perspective around the experience of happiness. On the other side of that is the Nine of Pentacles, which is you creating abundance for yourself, you creating your dream life, you being able to rely on yourself in a way you never have before, to create not just positive manifestations and abundance, but to hold them, to not have it just be a blip of abundance, a blip of joy, a blip of stability, or whatever you want, but to actually have the energetic container to hold it as your default experience. What's the advice for Aquarius here? What's the advice for Aquarius here? Advice for Aquarius, Spirit. Knight of Swords. I love that, as this feels to me almost like the medicine to the Three of Swords. Seven of Swords. Lots of swords. Oh my gosh. It's like he's heading off the thief. He's facing off with the thief. The Seven of Swords represents all the ways that you deceive yourself. Maybe that you even gaslight yourself. That you do these mental gymnastics with yourself to avoid the real processing around the Three of Swords. Yeah. The avoidance of the choice to change your perception around this. The advice is to look that part in the face. What part of you doesn't want to change? What part of you doesn't want to heal this? What part of you is clinging to the identity? What part of you is clinging to the pain? This part of you is identified with the pain, right? It's like it's almost like the fear is probably, if I resolve this and I trust happiness, I really trust happiness, and I trust that I can hold abundance, I can hold joy as a default, the Tower card moment is still gonna come. And it's gonna be all the worse for it. It's almost like by not trusting happiness, I'm just gonna use this, keep using it as like a general term. By not trusting happiness, it's a form of self-protection. It's like you're bracing, this part of you associated with the Three of Swords is constantly bracing for the Tower card moment because it knows it's coming, right? So by believing that happiness doesn't last, or that you can't trust it, or abundance won't last, or you can't trust it, or whatever, you're protecting yourself. So to trust it and to open up to the fact that happiness could be a default mode permanently, it's like the most raw, vulnerable, it feels like just opening up your heart to be slashed, right? Because this part of you is so convinced that chaos is coming, right? The Knight of Swords is carrying this one single sword of truth, like the Ace of Swords. This is an invitation for you to really face head on this wound within you and to do some objective, like analytical, break it down, look at all the nitty-gritty parts of it, kind of inner work, right? Any other advice for Aquarius? Ace of Pentacles. Ooh. It feels like Spirit is handing you an opportunity. Spirit is handing you the opportunity to become this Nine of Pentacles. Become this self-made, abundant, empowered being who trusts not only their own capacity to create and their capacity to hold what they want, but trusts life to not be vengeful or cruel. On the other side of this identity ego death is a brand new start, a fresh start. Spirit wants you to work with new materials. Actually, that's what I'm hearing. Work with new materials that you can only access after you process this Three of Swords and go through this ego death, right? On the other side of that is a fresh start. So be open to that. Be open to the fact that there's a way of seeing and thinking and being that you've never known, or maybe you haven't known since you were like 2, right? There is another way. Be open to that. All right, let's wrap it up with an oracle card. This is a compendium of Witches Oracle. I'm just going to draw one card and then read you what the guidebook says. Final message for Aquarius, please, Spirit. Final message for Aquarius. Aquarius always gets pretty deep messages. I feel like there are some signs, like I've been doing astrology readings for long enough to notice certain trends, and everybody has their turn for a super deep shadow work-esque reading, right? But there are some signs that just consistently Spirit is like pushing to do deep inner work. And I feel like Aquarius is one of them. It's interesting. Final message for Spirit, or for Aquarius, please, Spirit. Final message for Aquarius. Ooh, number 14, The Alchemist. All right, let's see what it says. Alchemy, inner mechanisms, elements, and interconnection. The first light of dawn shines on her desk. Mortars, alembics, measuring tools, and parchments lie scattered in front of her in a beautiful chaos that speaks of a quest for harmony. The alchemist represents our research into inner workings, the desire for a thorough understanding of the mechanisms that lie underneath. What did I just say? The clear awareness that nothing exists in isolation prompts her to focus on interconnections. As above, so below. The alchemist searches for the macrocosm in the microcosm. Yeah. Yep. a thorough understanding of the mechanisms that lie underneath. Analyze this pain, analyze this wound that keeps flaring up in different ways over and over and over again. Break it down. Where did it start? What is it saying? If this wound or this feeling was a person, what would they look like? What age is this part of you? This wounded part of you? I mean, infinite questions. Just break it down. The more you break it down, the more you explore it, the more you understand it. And that alone will alchemize the wound. It will alchemize your relationship to the wound in such a way that you can start to make new choices. All right, Aquarius, thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope that this was helpful or at least thought-provoking. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and be sure to check out those journal prompts in the description box. I'll see you next time. Bye.